Hi, marketing girlies. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to another episode of Marketing Girly by Sky Society. And it's just you and me today. And we're talking all about how to get a marketing job that you're not qualified for on paper. So, this is truly how Sky Society started. So I am excited to jump into advice I can share there on getting jobs that you're not qualified for because that's something that I was able to do in my career. And that is the entire idea behind Sky Society Accelerator, which is our experience building marketing bootcamp for women. So we're going to talk about that today and tips I can give you that are going to be super actionable that you can use today and apply to jobs that you're applying to. Before we go into that, I will give you girls a quick little update on all things Sky Society and all things me. We just celebrated our 1 year, or sorry, our 1 month move into our Austin office, which has truly been such a whirlwind. Literally every single day I'm getting boxes delivered, and it has just been a massive, massive project, but it's been so much fun. I know I talked about this last time I did a solo episode, so I'm not going to go too much into that yet just because I don't have any huge updates. It's been super rainy here in Austin, and so I'm really hoping that we'll get to use the pool soon because the office has a full-on pool. And I really want to use it. I really want to sit outside. It's not something that I've been able to do here in Austin in a little bit. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And we just wrapped up the admissions season for our accelerator class. It actually starts, well, it will have started yesterday, the day that this episode goes live, but it was such a fun admission season. For the first time ever, we actually brought back past accelerator students to help with the admissions process and like talk to applicants throughout the process, which was really cool, like a very full circle moment to bring girls that have gone through the accelerator, gotten marketing jobs, and then they would come and like freelance for us for a couple hours a week to help with the admissions process, which was so much fun. And it was truly an incredible admission season. We got to talk to so many applicants. It still baffles me how many people apply to the accelerator, and that number has grown season over season for consecutive years, like every single season. It's actually, I don't know, I think it's 3 years of consecutive growing admission seasons, which is absolutely insane. Like, I feel like I say absolutely insane too much. I need to slow down on that. But we have this stats sheet where we track the number of people on the wait list every season, and it has just grown exponentially. Now we're in the thousands every season, which if you would have asked me that when I started Sky Society, I never would have believed that thousands of people would want to join the wait list per season. That's not for the entire year, that's per season. Thousands are joining. So, thank you for being a part of the admission season. Hopefully, you had a ton of fun. The admissions process is super unique. It's unlike probably any admissions process you've ever gone through. It's very thoughtfully curated, and a lot of love and attention has gone into it. So, I hope you girls enjoyed it. I guess that's like my biggest update for you, Sky Society wise. So let's move on to the topic for today, which is how to stand out for marketing jobs that you're unqualified for on paper. I talk to marketing girlies all the time, or I see you girls post about this on LinkedIn or tell me this in the TikTok comments that you are struggling to feel seen and you are struggling to get the marketing jobs that you really want, right? A lot of the jobs that you see that really excite you, you might not be fully qualified for on paper, and the competition is really tough. So, how can you get a marketing job that you're unqualified for? So, I'm going to start with a couple things. A couple things I'm going to start with that I've already talked about on this podcast. You've listened to Marketing Girly, you've heard me talk about these topics like over and over and over again. So, the first, obviously, shocker, is have a marketing portfolio. Big believer in that. You might not have, let's say you're applying to a position and it's I don't know, an email marketing coordinator role, or we'll do a brand. A lot of you girls want to work in brand. It's a brand marketing position, and you don't have direct brand marketing experience. If you have a marketing portfolio that is full of experience in other areas, that absolutely helps an employer understand that you have a lot of diverse experience. And also, you can build mock campaigns for yourself and do mock brand campaigns. That's what we also have Campaign Studio at Sky Society, which is basically building mock campaigns for your favorite brands like Poppy, Rhode, Dairy Boy, Park, Rare Beauty, all the fun brands that you girls love, and do a brand campaign for them. put that in your portfolio. Show employers that, hey, I might not have a specific position that's in brand marketing, but I have this portfolio. It has a lot of diverse experience. I can bring a unique background to this position. And in my portfolio, I showcase some mock campaigns I've done in the brand space. So that is going to be so huge for you, especially that diverse experience, okay? Having experience across email, organic social, paid, um, copywriting, SEO, content creation, all of those things will help you be able to bring a diverse perspective to a position. I've interviewed lots of guests on Marketing Girly that I've even shared that their diverse backgrounds is what made them a competitive applicant. So this will lead me into my next point, that stop viewing your non-marketing and non-traditional experience as a bad thing. Because it's not. It's really not. It can be the thing that sets you apart. I have a lot of girls in our accelerator that do not have marketing degrees. We're usually split 50-50. Half of our students have marketing degrees, half don't. For the girls that do not have marketing degrees, they always want to hide their education. They like should even put it on there. My degree's in psychology, it's in math, it's in science, it's not even in marketing. And I always tell you girls, no, like you should show that. That's what we teach, is that you want to be proud of that, because that gives you a different perspective on a team, right? Especially psychology, I always love when I see that as a major. Like that's a great perspective to have. It's not something to be ashamed of. So get rid of that limiting mindset that just because my degree is not in marketing means that it's a bad thing. Same with your non-marketing experience. If you have experience in sales, that's so incredible for marketing. If you have other experiences, can be a huge asset for you when you're applying to these marketing jobs. So stop feeling like it's something that you need to be ashamed of or that you need to hide, because you absolutely don't. You should feel really proud of it. You should show it off. And that will lead me to my next piece of advice, which is to really highlight those transferable skills. And I know that you might hear the phrase like transferable skills a lot. What are transferable skills? What do they mean? I want you to go look at jobs that you want in marketing. Look at the job that you're unqualified for. What are the skills that they're asking for, and how does your past experience translate to that? So maybe a skill is communication, okay? If you were a bartender, you have experience communicating with customers. If you worked in sales, you have experience communicating with customers. There are lots of different pieces you can pull from your own experience that can be transferable skills, but it's on you to pull them. It's on you to connect the dots and to make it super easy for a hiring manager or employer to look at your application materials and understand why this random experience you have over there connects to the marketing job you're applying to right now. You have to do the heavy lifting for them. Okay, so a section that I would recommend that you add to your resume to help you get a job that you are unqualified for is going to be a why me. This is similar to a summary section. You're going to put it at the top of your resume. It's going to have 3 lines max, not sentences, lines. Okay, usually 3 lines max. And it's going to explain why your non-traditional background that doesn't match the qualifications for this role are actually an asset for the position that you're applying to. And I say 3 lines because nobody's going to read a whole paragraph that you write out about why you're a good fit, okay? I'm not going to get on a tangent on resumes, but your resume needs to be skimmable, okay? People aren't reading it word by word. They're oftentimes probably running it through AI as well. So you need to tell the AI, okay? Tell the hiring manager, this is why this non-traditional experience makes sense and would be an asset for me in this position. Okay, that is usually a huge piece, is that you might not feel like they're understanding why you still are a good fit, but you have to tell them. You can't just assume that they're going to look at your past experience and say, well, she's applying to this brand marketing position. She has no brand marketing experience. I'm going to call her in for an interview. They're not just going to do that. You need to connect the dots for them. All right. And in addition to that, you need to be adding those keywords to your resume. So if you're applying to a brand marketing position and you don't have brand marketing experience, I want you to go figure out how you can go get some on your own. And I want you to be able to go put brand marketing in your resume at least 2 or 3 times. So that way, when they're running it through the applicant tracking system and they told their AI, their applicant tracking system, hey, we want somebody with brand marketing experience, your resume is actually going to get green lights because you put that keyword on your resume. A good way to get those keywords in a real way, right? We're not relying on our resumes, would be to go get internships. You can go get some small experience. If you're like, Natalie, you told me in this episode that I would get advice today that I could use today, and I can't go get an internship and complete it today for brand marketing, I would tell you to go get a certificate. Go find some brand marketing certificates that you can get online, take them, put them on your resume. Okay, you can put them under education, you can put them under skills, you can make a certifications section and load it up. You can go find some on LinkedIn. I'm pretty sure if you get a library card, I think there's a discount with LinkedIn Premium. Don't quote me on that. But the LinkedIn certifications are amazing. There are lots of really great ones out there that you can get, and I would really encourage you to do that so that you can, again, include those keywords. You need to connect the dots. Usually, the mistake that I see people make is that they are just assuming that you're going to know that I'm this hard worker that's creative and talented and smart, that's going to be such an asset on your team just by looking at my resume. Okay, they can't assume that. They look at hundreds of resumes. You need to show them that you are the exception, that even though you don't have the direct experience that others have, your experience is transferable. So that's why we're going to be adding in those keywords. And that's why your portfolio also matters so much, because it's really about going above and beyond to say, hey, look at me, I'm here. Okay, so I don't know how many little things I went through right there, but I think I went through quite a bit. Uh, Other things you can do to really stand out. So I find that there's sometimes like two situations when you're applying to jobs that you're unqualified for. Well, maybe we'll say three. We'll say three. The first is that just in general, you feel like all the jobs you're applying to, you're unqualified for. You feel like you're looking at lots of jobs and you're like, this wants X amount of years of experience or this, and I just don't have it across the board. In that case, I would tell you there's probably something larger that you need to go do and change, get more experience, join a program, do something more. Okay. You can definitely take and extrapolate tips from this, but there might be a lot of work you need to do there. And then there's people that fall into the category where your dream brand might be hiring. And you're like, this is such a long shot, but I want to work for this brand. And then the other scenario is it's just a dream position that opens up. And you're like, oh my gosh, that position sounds so amazing. I'm not exactly qualified, but I really, really want it. So the first example, the brand, well, I guess we can kind of talk about both, but let's say this like a position comes available and you're like, I want that so bad. Okay, I would do anything to work at that company. I would do anything to have this position. Uh, I would also recommend that you do more than just apply to the job because everybody's applying to the job. Everybody's putting that apply now on LinkedIn. You need to go above and beyond. So a couple ways you can go above and beyond. One is going to the company's page, going to the people tab, and finding the people that work there and messaging them, reaching out to them, letting them know that you are interested in the position, that you will do a coffee chat with them, that you are interested in their career journey and would love to learn more about them. Whenever we hire at Sky Society, I know the girls that have reached out to different team members and asked for that because they tell me. And I've also had people reach out and ask for coffee chats and then fall short on them and not really show up because they get nervous or whatever. But we'll take them most of the time if somebody asks and they seem like a good candidate. So I know that companies will see that and I know that it works. It gets different at larger companies, but you can do your little digging on the people tab and find people that work in that same department, on the same team, or even just a call with anybody because they could be able to connect you with somebody at that company. I know when I've worked at larger companies, they have an HR team and the HR team is usually in charge of the hiring process and everybody has to connect with the HR team. So I might work in tech and you might do a meeting with me or a coffee chat with me, but I can tell the HR team and the HR team can pass it on to the right team. So reach out to people. You will never know who say yes. I have so many stories because we teach a whole module on this in the accelerator and like give you girls LinkedIn message templates and everything. And I had a girl that she reached out to the CEO of this really awesome beauty company. Long shot, right? But who would think to reach out to the CEO, right? Nobody's reaching out to the CEO. And the CEO accepted her message, did not respond, However, a couple days later, she got a message from the hiring team saying that the CEO saw her message and would like to invite her back for an interview. Okay, a long shot connection. And guess what? LinkedIn connection, the only thing that you are losing is rejection. That's the only thing that's costing you is rejection. So shoot your shot, send the LinkedIn Connect message, and do something to get noticed. Okay. Other things you can do to get noticed. Doing mock campaigns for that brand. So if Rare Beauty has a position open up, do a custom Rare Beauty resume and a custom Rare Beauty mock campaign. Okay. You can do this on your own, but also this is exactly what Sky Society's campaign studio is. It's giving you custom resume templates and custom portfolio templates for brands so that you can like really quickly turn around beautiful custom work. That's a great way to stand out. Okay, so we've talked about sending LinkedIn messages to other people at the company. We've touched on the custom resumes and the custom portfolios. Those are all great things. And then one new thing that I've been seeing a lot that I've really been loving is people making TikTok videos to get the attention of a brand. This is also something, especially if you work in marketing, guess who's looking at all of the tagged videos? The social media person, okay? It goes a long way to go make a TikTok video about why you want to work for that brand and tag them and post it and have all your friends comment and tag that brand because that is such a great way to stand out. This thing gets a little bit scary, but again, most people aren't doing this stuff. So why not shoot your shot? Why not try? You lose literally nothing in the process. All right. All of those things you can do right now today for a job that you really want. And it's going to be that combination of getting the transferable skills, connecting the dots for the employer. The same goes when you're submitting your cover letter. Really connect those dots for them so they don't have to make the leap themselves. Adding keywords to your resume for that specific role. So you might not have the qualifications for that role or that title on your resume, but you can go get certifications and you can go add that keyword to your resume multiple times to help stand out when it's getting scanned by an applicant tracking system. And then you can also go above and beyond a LinkedIn message, submit custom resumes and portfolios, make TikTok videos, tag them on your story, DM them, like do all the things to get noticed. You might feel like, oh my gosh, this company is so big, there's no way that they're going to see me, but I promise you, you'll be surprised what gets noticed. And I think a lot of people just assume that everybody must be reaching out to them. So, why would they respond to me? But you really never know. You really never know. Okay. So shoot your shot. And these are all super helpful ways when you are applying to a job that you are not qualified for to help you stand out. So other little tips that I'll give you in the process is never lie. I think sometimes we might be tempted to lie about something on our resume to help us stand out and get noticed. You never want to get caught in a lie. You never want to be hired under false pretenses, right? Because then you know that you didn't get the job because they wanted you. They got the job because they wanted a false version of you. And we don't want that. Be honest. You don't need to lie. And really, really, when you are applying and maybe there's questions that they're having you fill out, just remember that own the fact that you're not qualified. Don't try to ignore it. Don't use it as an excuse, but own it because owning those differences as assets and having that perspective and having that be your strength is such a different way to look at applying to jobs than feeling like you need to hide it and you want those things to be your weakness. And if you claim them as your strengths, so will the employer, and that confidence is going to show through in everything that you do. All right, so do not be discouraged to apply for jobs that you are seemingly unqualified for. Okay, don't be discouraged. You absolutely can get those jobs. You really never know, but you're not going to get it if you don't shoot your shot. And I've got girls in the accelerator that get jobs that they are unqualified for all the time. It's my favorite thing, and it's such a great way to build your confidence to go out there and apply for jobs that you might not be qualified for on paper. And honestly, at the end of the day, a lot of times employers are putting together the job description, and the job description is their dream list. Okay, it's like if you were to go write out all of the dream traits of your dream boyfriend, okay? And you've already put an ad out for your dream boyfriend, right? He's 6'5", works in finance, all the things. But in reality, you would settle for, well, we won't use the word settle. In reality, you'd be really happy with somebody that didn't hit all of those things. Okay, we have our non-negotiables, but there's also things that are on our dream wish list that we would totally be okay with not having. And the same is with job applications. Like a job description is the wish list. It's not necessarily the checklist that they need to have all of those things. It's the wish list. So switch your perspective, connect the dots, go above and beyond, and don't be afraid to apply to jobs that you're unqualified for because you just might get it. Okay, marketing girlies, that wraps up today's episode. I will be back next week with an amazing guest for you. Keep commenting on the TikToks, the LinkedIns, all of it. That's how I get inspo for these episodes. Same if you comment on Spotify. I love reading those as well. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your week.